Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Well, welcome to episode 791 of Free on Business. I'd like to welcome you to the show. We're streaming live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Instagram. Truly appreciate the people that watch on Twitch. I think that's just the most tremendous thing to be streaming on. Remember, you can look for us at Freed on Business or at Jim Freed. And today we're talking about the insurance market. What a dynamic topic for October. You know, for many, many years, I went up to Tallahassee and then to Washington, D.C. to lobby for a nationwide catastrophic insurance program for the U.S. More and more, that's becoming something that it's obvious that we need. People from all across the country are dealing with forest fires, drought impacts, all kinds of other things that are going on that are driving their insurance. And we haven't even discussed the multiple hurricanes that have been hitting Florida this year and all the impact that it's had. Before we get started, I want to thank our friends at Warren Henry. Warren Henry's been sponsoring the show for 12, 13 years. I lose count. I want to thank Larry, and what a tremendous family man he is. He's on, he's having his kids. High five to Courtney for putting up with Larry for all these years. I want to thank Eric Ismet, the rest of our team at Warren Henry. My car's in for service at Warren Henry. Finally found the thing that's rattling. They're taking care of me. I can't thank them all enough. Remember, always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. And now our topic, the insurance market. You know, I've been reading articles. We've been seeing things on TV. We all know what's going on. The Wall Street Journal article, though, it made it a national kind of an issue where it talked about people are stuck in their homes in California, even where they're worried about the fire issues. In Texas, I'm sure there's issues with the insurance in Texas. We all know what's going on here in the Southeast, but nobody ever thought that the insurance problems would be up on the mountains of the Appalachians. It's everywhere now, and I'm sure that the flooding is nationwide. And we're not just talking about homeowners insurance; we're also talking about flood insurance. Many people, fly naked. What should we do? What should we do? People are trying to sell their homes; they can't. Everywhere, it's depressing home prices. It's depressing liquidity. People thought they had built up equity in their homes and they can't tap it. So it's compounding the problem everywhere. Here in Miami, it's a problem with the condominiums. The occupancy cost has gone way through the roof. A lot of that is not only the rehab cost of the condos, which, by the way, if you don't do your structural rehab, you probably have issues with your physical insurance, but also the windstorm and the flooding is now an issue. Flood insurance, does it really represent what the real cost is? No. So people keep building on the floodplain. What happens? Well, we've been seeing what happens when people build on the floodplain. We're all subsidizing the people that continue to rebuild in these flood-prone areas. And now that we have flood insurance, I think that you're also going to see a continuing build on catastrophic windstorm and other types of insurance, fire, and it's going to become a national problem. And as we discussed, this is also a single-family home problem. People in the Tampa Bay area, for instance, have been having problems selling their homes. They came down here, they moved from New York, or wherever they came from, they want to move back. They're not probably able to work remotely anymore as we get a full 100% back to work almost everywhere. And so they want to liquidate their home, sell it. But they bought it for $300, $400. They put $100, $150 in. They want to sell it for the $750 that the realtor said it was worth 6 months ago. I got news for you. You're probably in a homeowners association situation. If you are, that went up. If you're not, you probably realize that you need to get flood insurance. If you didn't have it, you're self-insured. Not a great place to be right now. Take a look at the news. If you do have flood insurance, maybe you needed windstorm insurance. Maybe you went light on the windstorm. Maybe you figured, hey, I'll self-insure. Nothing's really going to happen to me. I'm inland. Well, guess what? We learned what happens when you're inland and you fly naked now. And people over 62 are looking to take a reverse mortgage out on the house that they paid off just to pay these costs. And by the way, teaser for next week, we'll be talking to Ed Cairo about the interest rates and the impact on regular mortgages and reverse mortgage. It's also an issue on commercial real estate. The cost of occupancy continues to go up. That's the key word on all of this, is the cost of occupancy. Florida used to be a cheap place to live. Guess what? Not much more. I've been talking to my friends that one of my good friends runs one of the high-end real estate offices in Atlanta. He's been telling his people to get ready, that they're going to need to go out and solicit the ability to represent rental buildings and rental homes, because people are moving. People are moving because they're tired and they can't take it anymore. It's a psychological problem. It's an emotional problem. I guess that's the same thing. It's also an insurance cost problem. And guess what? It costs less to insure your house up in Atlanta and other places that have not had these types of debacles. Where can you move to escape this issue? I'm not really sure anymore. I'm really not sure. Atlanta, Dallas, that's where a lot of people would move if they're coming out of Miami. Miami is the international Atlanta or Dallas. Orlando's like Dallas. Orlando's the only place in the state of Florida where there is no impact, and people are in no impact of the water. So it can expand, all around. So Orlando continues to expand. The properties I know that were up in Orlando, a lot of them prepared but didn't have a lot of damage. Guess what? I do have photos of friends, and their mom's house had the big oak tree, the 100-year oak tree, fall on the house. Not a pretty scene. The young people that I know that were in Gainesville at the UF, I told them to get away from any place that looked like it might have a tree fall and get up to high ground. Luckily, most of them went into the dorms to hide from everything. But where can you go to hide? The places are becoming fewer and fewer, and the emotional and personal stress is incredible. And then this is also driving inflation. We don't talk about politics. Inflation is down. I made the quotes, okay, because what is really inflation? It's the increases in prices. And guess what? That price is increasing for the rehab of your home and the rebuild of your home. And guess what? I shouldn't say guess what. I sound like I'm repeating myself. You know what? I shouldn't say that. I sound like I'm repeating myself. But the inflation that goes into everything, the cost of your flooring, the cost of your drywall, the cost of your electrical outlets, the components in your house, that's going up. So that's driving the cost of insurance. And do you really have full replacement cost on your home? Probably doubtful. Probably doubtful. And how many bites at the apple can you take, and can you sue the insurance people? Another topic. I know that when my house last got whacked for insurance, I had a great adjuster. I had great insurance. I'm one of the big national carriers. They're still carrying me because I'm a good boy. So I'm lucky. And even if you have an agent, your agent doesn't help you on all this. It's the adjuster, and then it's the home office. And can you reopen your insurance claim? We did 3 times last time. I don't know how many times you'll be able to do it this time. We did it almost up to the last day that you could do it. I think you can do it for a year. But again, I'm not an insurance expert. I'm just an emotional recipient and an observer of the insurance crisis. And of course, we all know that as the spaghetti maps come out, we all know which path the hurricane is going to take. Mr. Mendoza, if you have to, you can blur this. That's the path that the hurricane always takes. Always. That is the path that the hurricane takes. That's my little insurance and hurricane joke. I hope you enjoyed it. So it's affecting everybody. What do? We're going to be right back with the last word and our idea on what you should do. But right now, we're going to throw it to Mr. Mendoza to show you all the buildings that are having an insurance crisis right now here in South Florida. Mr. Mendoza, roll it. All right, we're here with Warren Henry, our Warren Henry tie-in. I want to thank our friends, Larry, Ismet, Eric, my whole team. I love them all at Warren Henry. The service advisors treat me and my family like gold. My family goes there. My clients go there. My beautiful wife goes there. My lovely mom goes there. And on the insurance end, we all know that there's been a real heavy impact on auto insurance too. So insurance is impacting us every way. So when you're seeking a safe and kind place and you're doing your car deal, you want to get every advantage that you can. Buying, leasing, doesn't really matter. That's why I go to Warren Henry. They treat me like family. They give you the Warren Henry advantage. They've got stores all around the state. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audis. Down in the Keys, they've got a store that sells them all. They're award-winning store in South Dade. They've got their new Land Rover Range Rover store in Broward. Of course, they've got their headquarters, their home store up at 151st and Biscayne, where they sell Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, Jaguar, and now Lincoln. They're building out their new Lincoln store, their Lincoln service line. I saw it. It's gorgeous. They treat you like gold. My mom got it. So remember, if you want to be treated like family and you want to get a new car or lease a new car or a used vehicle, slightly used, of course, check out our friends at Warren Henry. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. So here we are. We've been talking about insurance the whole show. The show's been about insurance. And here we are for the bottom line. And now that we know insurance is going through the roof and it's becoming harder and harder to afford, what do you do? Well, like I said, next week we'll be talking to Ed Cairo about interest rates and refi. So the number one thing you can do is lower your cost of occupancy by refining to these new lower rates, maybe string it out a little longer, or do a 15-year refi and pay off your house a lot faster. It's a nationwide issue. I think we're going to need a catastrophic insurance fund that parallels the flood insurance program for the United States. One thing I think we've all learned is please don't fly naked. Make sure you have enough insurance. Reevaluate your budget to accommodate it, because there's a reason that you need insurance, and we are all in this together. So please remember, give me a call, Jim Freed, Freed on Business, Sandstone Realty Advisors. They help a lot of people do a lot of things. Work with a lot of high net worth investors, a lot of banks, a lot of equity investors, institutional investors. Talk to them all the time and meet them. I find out what the best deal is. So if you're in the commercial situation and you need to lower your cost of occupancy, give me a call. Let's get a new loan. Let's take advantage of these rates. Let's cash you out some money. And remember, if you missed today's show or today's episode, you can always check the replay out on my social feeds, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, or Instagram. Look for me at Jim Freed and at Freed on Business, or head on over to at Jim Freed's YouTube page, the Apple Podcast, Spotify, or anywhere you listen to your audio, and check us out and all of our other podcasts. You'll find a great variety of things and some wonderful energy every single time. As always, I want to thank my co-pilot, Mr. Mendoza, and Warren Henry. I want to thank them for sponsoring us. We're heading up almost to show 800. Oh, my goodness, 15 plus years. Warren Henry's been with us almost since the beginning. I want to also thank our friends at the Bergstrom Center for Real Estate Studies. I'm going to go see them real soon up in Gainesville. And remember, this was the tagline that Mr. Pitts liked the other day, Leonard Pitts, and we interviewed him. It was great. The person wants to do something. This is actually out to everybody. The person wants to do something, finds a way. The other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you, and God bless America. Mr. Mendoza, like I said, this part's yours.